Our parable today is perhaps the most controversial one of all. It leads us to think about issues of money and honesty as well. And tomorrow we'll be looking at the rich man and Lazarus, which again touches on the themes of money and wealth in this world. But this parable has been debated throughout the centuries. The controversy that it brings, the parable of the shrewd manager, sometimes called the dishonest manager or the unjust steward. What does it mean for us today? How do we understand this? And what is Jesus trying to say? Well, we're going to have that parable read to us now. And Roy and Margaret Reese, who were visiting us recently, will be reading it for us.
Jesus told his disciples, there was a rich man whose manager was accused of wasting his possessions. So he called him in and asked him, what is this I hear about you? Give an account of your management, because you cannot be manager any longer. The manager said to himself, what shall I do now? My master is taking away my job. I'm not strong enough to dig, and I'm ashamed to beg. I know what I'll do so that when I lose my job here, people will welcome me into their houses. So he called each one of his master's debtors. He asked the first, how much do you owe my master? 900 gallons of olive oil, he replied.
The manager told him, take your bill, sit down quickly, and make it 450. Then he asked the second, and how much do you owe? 1,000 bushels of wheat, he replied. He told him, take your bill and make it 800. The master commended the dishonest manager because he had acted shrewdly. For the people of this world are more shrewd in dealing with their own kind than are the people of the light. I tell you, use worldly wealth to gain friends for yourselves, so that when it is gone, you will be welcomed into eternal dwellings. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with very much. And whoever is dishonest with very little will also be dishonest with much. So if you have not been trustworthy in handling worldly wealth, who will trust you with true riches? And if you have not been trustworthy with someone else's property, who will give you property of your own? No one can serve two masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money.
We see the master even having admiration for this manager, the shrewd manager, the dishonest manager, for the way in which he handles these situations. But as Jesus tells this parable, he's also reminding us that we shouldn't allow wealth, material possessions to distract us from the importance of the relationships. And for this man, those relationships are far more important. Our relationships with one another are far more important than our finances, our wealth, and our relationship with God above all. We're also reminded that all our wealth belongs to God anyway. All our things that we put our hope and security in, our financial securities, it all belongs to God. We are called to serve Him, to focus on our relationship with Him and with others. And in our parable tomorrow, we are reminded about how earthly wealth has no eternal significance.